Slay, whoosh, going. Hey man, we got Hip Hop Daily. Fetty Wap busted for a multi-million-dollar drug operation. Man, free my nigga Fetty Wap. That nigga ain't do that, man. Free that innocent young nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? She my track queen, let it hit the mango. We can't know when I'm on mango. Everybody hate, we just call the fans, though. And with the money, I ain't never letting go. Hey man, before you in this bitch, make sure you subscribe right now, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do too much talking, let's just get it to it.
Fetty Wap was one of the hottest stars in the rap game at one time after Trap Queen went viral back in 2014. But now, the rapper is facing...
That's no cap. 2014 through 2015, that nigga Fetty Wap was on fire, you know what I'm saying? 8th grade. Yeah, I was in 8th grade, like 8th grade, 9th grade. You know what I'm saying? Like 8th grade, 9th grade, Fetty Wap was like one of my favorite rappers at the time. Like 2015, who I was listening to? Thug, Future, Sosa, Fetty Wap. That was my 4 favorite rappers, like every day, you know what I'm saying? Especially that Fetty Wap first album. Boy, that shit legendary, you know what I'm saying? Nostalgic, you know what I'm saying? Stop playing with that boy Fetty like he not a GOAT. But I ain't gonna care. I don't listen to Fetty Wap like that no more. Like, niggas not really listening to Fetty unless like it's the first album. Me and Fetty Wap, booming. That shit booming. Yeah, that shit all.
The possibility of life in prison after police arrested him along with 5 other men right before performing at Rolling Loud in New York. Here's what happened. On Thursday, October 28th, Fetty Wap was scheduled to perform at the Rolling Loud Festival at Citi Field in Queens, New York. But before he went on stage, he got arrested by the FBI on federal drug charges. According to legal documents from TMZ, Fetty and 5 other men were all arrested on charges of distributing more than 100 kilos of coke, crack, heroin, and fentanyl all across Long Island and New Jersey. Police said the drugs were bought on the West Coast and then smuggled back east using stash spots inside of used USPS vehicles. Police records also claim that during their investigation, they found over $1.5 million in cash, 16 keys of cocaine, 2 keys of heroin, as well as fentanyl pills and multiple guns. All of the men involved, including Fetty, are facing a minimum of 10 years up to life in prison if convicted. Fetty Wap's lawyer, Navarro Greg.
You gotta pray for Fetty Wap, you know what I'm saying? He innocent, he ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? That nigga's a singer, that nigga's a rapper. You know what I'm saying? He don't do none of that, you know what I'm saying? Free that nigga, man. Free Fetty Wap expeditiously, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, free her, probably want free on my free push ice too.
Ray told the press that we pray this is all just a big misunderstanding and hope that Fetty will be released soon so we can clear things up as soon as possible. According to Timothy D. Sinney, the district attorney of Suffolk County, New York, the defendants used Southern Long Island as their base of operations to run a multi-million-dollar interstate drug ring. He accused Fetty and his crew of being wholesale drug dealers who trafficked millions of dollars worth of narcotics across state lines and sold them to smaller dealers who flipped the drugs on the street. Charges against 3 other men in the case were already filed back in June 2020. The DEA announced charges against 23...
Nigga said wholesale. So you know them boys like super trappers. Nigga wasn't lying, she my track queen, let her hit the man, we can't up, but nigga was not playing. Free Fetty though, you know what I'm saying? He innocent, he ain't do that, you know what I'm saying?
year-old Anthony Sinjay of Passaic, a former New Jersey corrections officer, as well as 26-year-old Brian Sullivan of Lake Grove, New York, and 47-year-old Anthony Leonardi of Coram, New York. Charges were also brought against 2 other men on the same day as Fetty Wap, including 26-year-old Robert Leonardi, the brother of one of the men previously arrested, and 26-year-old Gavon Wiggins. Prosecutors say that the Leonardi brothers, along with Sullivan and Wiggins, set up the purchase and shipment of the drugs from the West Coast. They accused Fetty Wap of acting as a kilogram-level redistributor. Anthony Sinjay is accused of moving the cocaine to New Jersey to be distributed. Police believe that Brian Sullivan and Anthony Leonardi's son, James Sosa, was running the operation. They both got arrested last year and charged with working as major drug traffickers. As of right now, it's not exactly clear what Fetty Wap's involvement was. Based on the news reports, it sounds like Fetty was getting keys from the West and then used his connections in the streets to flip it to local dealers. But for now, it's hard to tell how much he was really involved. Fetty Wap has been pretty low-key the past few years, despite his success early on in his career. He was born and raised in Paterson, New Jersey. As a child, he developed glaucoma in both eyes after an accident, and the doctor could only save one. So he lost his left eye, which later gave him a unique look. He went to Eastside High School in Patterson, but dropped out to chase a music career. He started rapping, taking music seriously around 2013. At first, he was just rapping, but later switched to singing because he wanted to stand out. He always had the nickname Fetty because he was a well-known hustler in his hood and was always trying to get money. He threw the WAP on the end when he started rapping, which was a tribute to Gucci Mane, who called himself Guwap. He dropped his breakout hit Trap Queen in early 2014. The song was the lead single from his debut mixtape, Up Next. Trap Queen didn't take off right away, but by the end of 2014, it racked up millions of plays on SoundCloud. This secured him a deal with 300 Entertainment with distribution through Atlantic Records in November 2014. Fetty was included on the XXL 2015 freshman class list with rappers like Vince Staples, Shy Glizzy, and GoldLink. After that, he dropped his next single, 679.
Sad to say, all them niggas irrelevant. Nah. But free Fetty though. Fetty been hard, you know what I'm saying?
Featuring members of his Remy Boys crew, Monty and P. Dice. The song peaked at number 4.
Where was P. Dice? Where was P. Dice? I remember that video and he was like, where the fuck was P. Dice? You know what I'm saying?
Billboard Hot 100, his second highest charted single after Trap Queen. Fetty would later fall out with P. Dice over a beef with another Patterson rapper named Tax G. Tax G claimed Fetty jacked his style by rocking blonde dreadlocks that looked just like his. The rapper called Fetty a copycat, but his beef was really with P. Dice. So, Tax G said if Fetty kicked P. Dice out of the group, they could squash the beef. Fetty ended up kicking Dice out of the group, but said it wasn't just because of the beef with Tax G. He said that Dice only wanted to come around for big shows and wasn't putting in the work to build the Remy Boys brand. When 679 dropped, he wanted an even split for their performances together.
That 679, that shit was just as big as Trap Queen. I'm like, man, he go when you, he might have walked with the birds, he might have had the soda. All fast money, no show, but tell me what you want. Is it money or is me? Hot smoke 20, Hey, that shit was too hard, no cap.
Fetty Wap was the one bringing in all the fans, so Fetty kicked him out of the group, and his verse wasn't featured on the album version of the song. But the internal beef ain't slowed down his grind. In July 2015, he dropped his third single, My Way, which peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100.
That nigga Fetty was dropping back-to-back hits 2015. I don't give a fuck. Nobody say nigga came out with Trap Queen, 679. Baby, won't you come my way? I got something I want to say. Oh, hey, everything you was make me. Bruh, that shit was so hard. And he had Again. And he had Booming. He had some more shit. And he got How We Do Things, bro. That whole Fetty Wap first album, that whole shit solid all the way through. That shit hard as fuck.
The song got remixed by Drake, which gave it a major boost. So, it seemed like Fetty Wap was taking over the rap game, and every single he dropped did massive numbers. He was the first male artist with 3 songs in top 20 spots on Billboard since Eminem set the record in 2013. So for a while, it seemed like Fetty Wap couldn't be stopped and was on his way to being one of the biggest stars of this generation. But when you blow up overnight and experience so much success early on in your career, it's hard to keep up that momentum forever. Fetty dropped his debut commercial album, Fetty Wap, in September 2015. The album...
9th grade vibes. He dropped that 9th grade, bro. That shit was so damn hard. I think he dropped it around the same time as What a Time to Be Alive, but that shit was a great time. The nostalgic era. Thug dropped Slime Season 1. Fetty Wap had dropped Fetty Wap. It's called Fetty Wap. It's called the album, self-titled album. Cheap dropped goddamn Bang 3, Bang Part 2, Bang Part 3 type shit, Bang 3. And goddamn dropped What Time to Be Alive. All that shit dropped in like August, September-ish. Like when we on back to school type shit. That shit was so damn hard, but I ain't gonna cap.
Debuted at number 1 on Billboard because it was supported by 4 chart-topping singles: Trap Queen, 679, My Way, and Again. A lot of fans said the album lacked versatility, and it seemed like Fetty was just making different versions of the same song over and over. But it was still a commercial success.
That nigga was versatile. That nigga was rapping and singing. Man, boom! But you heard booming. You heard How We Do Things, but that whole tape was hard, but no cap.
on 129,000 albums and earning Fetty 2 Grammy nominations. A few days after the album dropped, Fetty got into a motorcycle accident that almost killed him after being hit head-on by a car driving the opposite direction. Paramedics treated him at the scene, and he was brought to the hospital in stable condition. Over the years, he continued to do successful features. In 2015, he was featured on the Lil Dicky song, Save That Money, with Rich Homie Quan. Fetty also teamed up with pop group Fifth Harmony in 2016 for the track All In My Head, Flex, which also climbed to the top of the charts. But Fetty's solo songs ain't had the same kind of impact as his early hits. Around 1:20 a.m. on November 2nd, 2017, Fetty was arrested after being pulled over on the highway in Brooklyn. A cop saw him going over 100 miles per hour in a 2012 Mercedes. He was charged with drunk driving, reckless endangerment, aggravated unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle, illegally changing lanes, and drag racing. He later said that the charges were exaggerated, but he did have 2 shots of cognac before driving. It was 2 a.m. and there was no cars on the highway, so he decided to drive home. But other than that, Fetty's kept a low profile over the last few years. He's continued to drop music and recently released his second studio album, The Butterfly Effect, on October 22nd, just a week before he got arrested. It's been 6 years since he dropped his first album, and this project was supposed to be a comeback album for him. But now, it seems like Fetty Wap got himself caught up in a legal situation.
That's crazy. I ain't even hear it, but I'm gonna check it out though. I'm gonna forward it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Fetty Wap, he ain't really stay consistent. Like, he ain't stay consistent with the videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you would have put out more videos, he could have did, like, more collabs. You know what I'm saying? All he had to do was stain niggas' faces. Like, he already had a unique sound. You know what I'm saying? Bruh just... I don't know, bro, just in his own lane. Bro, still hard. Praying for that boy Fetty Wap. Free that boy Fetty Wap expeditiously, you know what I'm saying?
That could end it all. He's facing some pretty serious charges, and the cops been going hard cracking down on street-affiliated rappers who's living a double life. As of now, they ain't granted Fetty a bond, and he's currently behind bars, waiting for the case to be processed. More info will probably come out once the rapper sees a judge, so stay posted for updates.
Hey man, free that boy Fetty Wap expeditiously. That nigga innocent. He ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? She might try to clean that bedroom, cause we can end up in the middle. And I with that money, I ain't never let go. And I am out with my baby. I said I'm gonna get fly with my baby. Yeah. And I am fly with my baby. I ain't in the kitchen by my baby. Yeah, baby. Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Don't let me get singing on this bitch. Baby, won't you get my way? I got something I want to say. You know what I'm saying? Hey, free that boy Fetty Wap expeditiously. Anyway, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah.